Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Today we are going to talk about the Reds opening day failure. Okay? Because that's exactly what it was. The Reds opening day failure. All right, so get on in here. If you don't know me, my name is Queen A. I am the clarity coach. And let me just say this for those who don't know. Okay, I do not proclaim to be a therapist. I do not proclaim to be a social worker, a psychiatrist. I am a I am a clarity coach, not therapy. Let me go back. Okay, so I am not a therapist, psychiatrist, any of the sort. And I am human like everybody else. So, of course, I make mistakes, but I am a clarity coach. And that is one thing that I am great at. And today we are going to be talking about the Reds opening day failure. A lot of people seem to be confused. They seem to be amazed at the events that's going on. And I want to talk to you all about why you shouldn't be amazed. The things that's going on right now that you see that's going on, it is because of who we have became as a people. My apologies, loves. But it's because of who we have become. And I'm going to talk about that today because if you know me, I love to bring clarity. So before I even talk on anything, I'm going to always do my research for myself. That way I can bring you all as much clarity as possible because that's what it's about. It's not about nothing else. That is purely what it's about with me. So for those, hey, for all my my royal family that stay continuously support me, and to my newcomers, I want to say welcome to you all as well. All right, so we just gonna jump on into it. The first thing y'all gotta understand is the reason why we going through all this mishap as far as when we having Reds opening days parades or anytime we all get together as a people is because we don't have no clarity. There is no clarity in what's going on, especially since we have had online. Do y'all know how much the suicide rate has went up? How much the depression rate has went up since we have been online? Do y'all know? And not just do y'all know, do y'all even care? Because that's what we're gonna be talking about right here today. And I don't think a lot of y'all care. See, a lot of y'all think y'all care, but I want to really know if y'all really truly care because I'm gonna read y'all something today, and because I really want y'all to get some clarity on why we're having the issues that we're having and why I am a clarity coach and I teach and touch on the things that I teach and touch on. Why I see the need for us to overcome self-doubt. Why I see the need to plant seeds for us to give the same confidence that we give into everybody else and to ourselves. That's what we're gonna be talking about right here. So if you one of them people, if you've been looking, so you wonder how to overcome self-doubt, or you especially if you wondering like, well, what went wrong with the Redz Day? Why is everybody can't get together and you just confused on what's going on? Watch this video. And if you're a newcomer, make sure that you subscribe, follow, and like and all that good stuff if this is for you. Because as you know, I'm not for everybody, and that is okay. That is perfectly okay. That's why we're human. That is exactly why we're human. Okay. Now, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read y'all this passage before we go any further because I really truly want y'all to understand why I do what I do. Okay, so let me go on here, and this is Google. Okay, all I did was Google, and you can do this too. How much has suicide rates and depression rates gone up since the online age? Meaning, since we've been online, since we've been digital, since we've been able to connect with each other throughout the whole world, right? Because that's awesome. Let me start with saying that it's amazing that we're able to connect with each other online. I love to be able to, have family now all over the world. And now I can say the country, right? Because I'm about to have my first podcast guest from overseas, from over country, right? And if you don't know, my podcast is Slapping with Truth. You can find that on YouTube as well, under Queen A Speaks. But it's amazing to be able to connect with people. That's how I met people from New York and all over. I wouldn't even have a culture in New York if we didn't have these amazing opportunities to connect with each other. But one of the things that it's also doing is making us lose trust in ourselves. We are so dependent on the world that we forgot about us, ourselves. All right. And I'm just getting back to myself, y'all. So if y'all feel me sniffing, my bad. But let's get back to this because I want to start with there's no clarity. All right. So I'm going to read y'all this passage. Since the rise of the online age, roughly early 2000s to 2010s, right? That's when the online age really began. Everybody really started being online, all that. Okay, youth suicide rates have spiked, with suicides for ages 10 to 24 rising by 60%. That's more than half, rising by 60% from 2007 through 2021. That's more than double. Okay, let me finish. Adolescent depression also rose by 52%. That's more than half. Okay, between 2005 and 2017. Overall, the US suicide rates increased by 37% between 2000 and 2018, with rates reaching a peak of nearly 49,500 deaths in 2022. Okay, so I just want to start with saying that before we get into what I'm getting into, what we are about to talk about. Because the first thing we're going to be talking about is the social media. Y'all have to understand, nowadays, when everybody's getting together, people are aware that the world is watching them. Let me say that again. Everybody seems to be aware that the world is watching them. And also, with that being said, what also seems to happen is everybody seems to know that, oh, you know what? Think about it. When you know a camera is on you, or anybody know a camera is on them, guess what? They act different. They do not act themselves. And if you think I'm lying, try it. Try it. Go around somebody all day and then go around them the next day with the camera and just video record them. I don't care who it is. They're not going to do it things exactly the way they would do it, right? They're going to try their best not to, oh, you know what? Let me not touch this. Let me not dig my nose. Let me not dig my butt. Whatever it may be, I don't know. Scratch my face the wrong way. Let me make sure my hair is the right. But these are things that people are going to try to avoid. And I'm just being funny because, we got to be goofy as well. So, I bring the clarity, but we also have to have a little humility with this. Okay, so people are not themselves when they are on camera. And so what we're seeing is this is a way different age. So I'm in my 40s, and I know especially for people in my 40s and up, okay, folks, okay, not 30s, but people in our 40s and up, it's real difficult because guess what? We know the time where we didn't have the online age. We remember when everything was not digital. We remember when we didn't have to put on the front for the world. We remember them days. But now y'all have to understand, we have a whole generation of individuals out here who don't know what that's like. They live for the camera. They live for a follow. They live for a heart. They live for a subscribe nowadays. So what y'all see every time we come together is this. Y'all seeing people acting for social media. And then what that also brings is everybody is competing for social media. Well, guess what? If that channel got, 5,000 follows by acting a fool, well, guess what? I need to act a fool times 3 times or times 4 so I can make sure I get 15,000 follows and 15,000 likes. That is what we seeing out here. It ain't no clarity when it comes to these things, especially right here. Y'all got to understand, people is competing for social media over people's life. Let me explain something y'all seeing out here. And if you think I'm lying, please listen and do your research if you think I'm lying, okay? People is competing. That's why you see all them videos that came out. Did y'all notice how many people was recording, but that wasn't helping? How many people was saying, you know what, get these kids, do this and that, but that was not helping? That is what we have come to. We are in an age now where people rather record than help. We are in an age now where people they rather go to jail. They'll go to jail just to go viral. Let me say that again. We are in an age where people are willing to go to jail just to go viral. Okay? And then not only that, nobody is addressing these issues. We don't have a lot of individuals out here addressing the fact that, guess what? Why is the youth suicide rate has more than doubled? Why is it 62% higher than when we didn't have social media? Nobody's addressing that. Maybe we should start making the kids play more. Maybe we should start making them, do these things. And I'm talking about from a young age. Did you know that they have social media detox classes nowadays? Let me say that again. Do y'all know they have social media detox classes nowadays? A lot of people don't know that. See, a lot of times you thinking your kid got ADHD, you thinking you ADHD or you can't function, and all along you like, you know what? I can't even sit still because it was me. No, it ain't that you can't sit still. You got a social media problem. Most of us, we've been on social media so much that guess what? It does. Y'all don't even know what these things do to our brain. And it's doing it even worse to our youth. And then not just social media. So it's not all social media. But with that social media that comes, guess what? You're seeing you have thousands and thousands of people meeting up. And then guess what? Nowadays, we ain't even getting along. So not only do we have thousands and thousands of people meeting up, but we don't even get along. The women can't compliment each other. Think about that for a second. Women can't even compliment each other nowadays. You know what? She thinks y'all that. Everybody is worried about how somebody looks. Right? Everybody worried about how somebody look. Oh, you know what? She got on that. Or what's the thing they say? What are those? We can't even compliment each other. You know, that's crazy. Everything has become twisted because of social media, because we believe everything that's on social media nowadays. And guess what? Social media telling us to be idiots, telling us to be a daggone fool. And that's what y'all seeing out there. That's why y'all see people acting a damn fool, because that's what social media is telling you to do. Act a fool. That's why these kids get down there. Think about it. When we was kids, we showed out. Now these kids, they trying to show out for the world. They think they got something to prove to everybody. Everybody is a op. If they don't do something, somebody gonna say something. They gonna get an inbox. They can get an inbox from Texas. Girl, Cincinnati is crazy. Y'all soft. We ain't have to worry about these things. And not to mention, nobody is talking to them about these things. So the first thing is, it ain't no clarity. There's no understanding that since the social media days, if the suicide rates are higher and the depression rates are higher, that means we have a whole lot of angry birds walking around all damn day. Thinking about it. If the suicide rate has more than double and the depression rate has more than double, then that means when you get up a thousand more people together, that means more than half of them are angry. Probably nowadays, think about it. Most of the angry people was probably in the crowd, especially the youth. You know, then I want to address the parenting thing I seen. So this is another thing I want to address. You know, so this is, and like I say, I want to tell y'all this again, okay? I am not a therapist. I am not a psychiatrist. I am not, nothing else but a clarity coach, and I do not proclaim to be anything else. But what I will tell you is what I see and what the research clearly shows if you do your research. So if everybody's walking around jealous, everybody's walking around thinking they got ops, and most of the people on drugs, right? What do you expect? That's why certain events I stay away from. Right? Or I go a little distance right here. I try to be picky, but even then you can't always, I'm not going to always be perfect. Right? And I'm not trying to be perfect. And I'm not going to like just go to this spot thinking it's perfect. No, we all human. I like to enjoy myself too. Do I get aggravated? Yes, but I understand the mind frame of why these things are happening. Think about it. And this is a prime example that we're about to go into right here about what we're saying about mind frames, right? So everybody was talking about Nella D, and I had to do, some research. I've been hearing about her, but from what I hear about her, she's a great individual. Never seen nothing about her. I seen a video of her dancing. I thought it was, I'm like, okay, she getting it. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I got to get my steps together, right? I got to start getting out there and get dancing again. See, I got to teach me how to do these steps. I got to get out there and get to it. But no, she was getting to it. What y'all say? She ate and left none. She got to it. I love the video. I hearted it. And then I don't know what happened. All I know is everybody was just talking about it. I'm like, what? Like, why? And that right there is what I mean by social media got us we're so jealous. Like, we so jealous. Like how? That's how social media got us. That soon as somebody do something, we can't wait to screenshot it or video record it and repost it and say something negative about it to try to go viral. Huh, look at her. They talking about she built like this and built like that. And guess what? I didn't care because people been saying I could hula hoop like through a Cheerio my whole life. You know what I mean? Oh, she like a little crackhead. She this and that. She skinny this and that. Guess what? I love my little body. I could care less. Okay, I could honestly care. Look, all right. Do I want to be toned? Yes, but that's what it is. I'm skinny. And not trying to be funny, but one thing we have to understand is individuals, nobody is perfect. Everybody that shared that video, you know why they shared that video? Because they ain't comfortable with themselves. Anybody who shared that video and had something to say about her, you have to be not comfortable with something about yourself. And I'm gonna tell you something. People will sit up there and act like everything is cool. They act like they think they look good. They act like this. Like, oh, you know what? I'm the most beautiful. But in here, it's all about in here. In your mind, what do you think? And if you think I'm lying for a second, just in case you think I'm lying for a second, let me explain to you what I mean by that. Okay? When I say this, what I mean by that. What I mean is this right here. Oh, shoot, I lost my train of thought. Oh, man. About, I'm sorry. So we shouldn't even be, I forgot my train of thought, y'all, I apologize. But one thing I could say is I was talking about another D, I just threw me out because I was all over, but I really want y'all to understand this. We have to understand how to learn how to compliment each other. Compliment each other. Make it make sense. Like, she looked like this, she looked like this. It don't matter. Because, that's what I was going to say. One thing you have to understand is when people are comfortable with themselves, like truly comfortable with themselves and what they got going on, you ain't trying to down nobody else. You trying to uplift everybody else. You understand the struggle because we all have a struggle. It don't matter who you is. I don't care who you is. I don't care how rich you is. I don't care how much what your bag look like. I don't care about none of that. Everybody has some kind of struggle. And I just want you to remember your struggle. Just remember your struggle. Because see, people be out here laughing. They be out here joking. But guess what? In here, they ain't right. And that's why they share them videos trying to take this that they feeling off of themselves. I ain't feeling right about myself. So let me share this video so the joke can be on her. No, the joke's still on you. The joke's still on you. Because what's understood don't got to be explained. And one thing I loved about the city, and I will say this, is that a lot of people came together for her. Because see, what's understood don't got to be explained. When you have a heart and you genuinely doing this, what's understood don't got to be explained. So that's another thing, like what I'm saying about social media. That's how social media got us. Soon as we take something, we got to share it and try to take what we feeling off ourselves and put it on somebody else. Oh, let's laugh at them. And that's what I was gonna say. And if you think I'm lying, why you think we have so many women and men that say they look good or think they beautiful, but then they'll go to, now you see all these women, they doctoring their face up. Everybody looks the same. They all look fake. They all look tight-faced and, booty look like they just gonna flat and, I don't know when. And they can say whatever, Queen, this next she ain't got, but guess what? I ain't ever had a butt. I'm in my 40s. I think my body fit me and it's okay for me. You ain't got to walk around for me. And see, that's what a lot of y'all got to understand. Y'all ain't got to walk around for her. She walking around for herself. Y'all ain't got to walk around for me. I look good for me. I look good for me. But see, that's why I say social media got brains so gone that we don't even know how to compliment ourselves. Why? Because we don't see nobody complimenting themselves on social media. All we see is drama. All we see is negativity on social media. So that's what social media is training us. to do. I'm just saying. Huh, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to tell y'all. That's just what I'm saying. And like I said, this is not, y'all know Queen A. This is not trying to get the most files, the most hearts, the most likes, the most none of that. This is just clarity, okay? And tonight, what is tea and clarity? Because we dropping tea. Like I said, suicide rates and depression rates has more than doubled with youth and adolescents. And you wonder why the youth acting like that? They depressed. They aggravated. They angry. Let me tell you something. Speaking of that, so I went to go speak at River City Correctional Facility. Okay, and shout out, hey, thanks, Rufus, for letting me come out there and speak to your team, your class. They was amazing. But I did feedback. I asked for feedback at the end. And do y'all know what most of and these wasn't even youth. So these was adults. Because, they was at River City Correctional Facility. These was adults. So like young boys, 18, I think the oldest I had in there was like maybe 50, somewhere in there, 18 to 50. But I did a survey, a feedback, right? Where's my thing at? And you know what most of these young guys said? I mean, guys said, not young guys, because they grown. They all love the part where I focused on anger. They all love the part where I focused on anger. Not the little prissy parts, not the nice parts that said they all love my focuses on anger and my emphasis. They love the pause method. They said, most of them said they wish they would have had learned that years ago. And I'm saying this to say this. They know, they understand what they need. They are fully aware, but they ain't getting it. And it ain't what you say or how you go up. It ain't what you do, it's how you go about doing it. Let me say that again. What you do is how you going about doing it. Like when I talk to them, I don't gotta like, oh, you know what? I'm Queen A, the clarity coach. Sit down. Y'all in jail. This and that. No. Why would I talk to them like that? I don't want nobody to talk to me like that. So I always, wherever I go, I always treat people and come at people the way I would want somebody to come at me. So we got to understand that there's a lot of jealousy in the air because social media is teaching us to be jealous. But a lot of us can't see that. A lot of us can't see that. We don't understand that social media is training our youth. It's training even us to be jealous, to be angry, to not love, to hate. That's why I love to spread clarity. I love to plant seeds. That's what I do. I plant seeds. That's what I do. So that's another thing I had to do, because we seen a lot of monkey see, monkey do, because that's what social media is teaching us. That's why a lot of these youth, they don't want to record, they want to help, but if they feel like if they help, they're gonna be the op, and then that's what they gonna be getting recorded. So they do what everybody else doing. So now we're gonna talk about the parenting, because this was another thing I noticed that was going on. And this is the last thing we're going to talk about. Then we're going to sum it up and we're going to get up off of here. But like I said, this is Tea and Clarity with Queen A right here on Sunday. And today we just talking about the Redz opening day failure. And if you know Queen A, I don't believe in failures. I believe failures are just life lessons. Okay. All right. So if you know me, you know when I talk about failures, I'm not really talking about failures. I'm talking about life lessons. So everything we touching on is lessons that you can learn. So we can learn lessons from these events that's happening. We need to do our research, find out why everybody is angry. Is it social media? Should we calm it down? Maybe not get baby tablets at the beginning. But I'm just saying, do your research, okay? And the last thing I want to talk about is this parenting issue, because I've seen a lot of men, which highly upset me, because I'm not if you know Queen A, y'all know I don't bash nobody. I don't bash kings or, queens, or I just, talk a little clarity. But something hurt my feelings. I seen a lot of men posting, and the post was concerning because the post insinuated that, the youth was acting like that because they're raised by single moms, and and the moms raised them like to be animals, and because they don't even care, and they just so busy trying to be up in a nigga face, and all that. Now, let me just say this, okay? I just gotta say this. First off, okay, a lot of that is going on. It is a lot of that going on. It is a lot of that going on. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like, I don't notice it, that it's a lot of queens that's doing it. You know what I mean? It's a lot of parents, not just queens or kings. There's a lot of parents that's doing it. I notice it. But this is what I'm gonna touch on. And this is what really is, I want you men to think about this that's making these posts. Because I'm gonna tell y'all now, y'all, you really sound retarded to me. Like, if you one of the men that feel like that, it's totally women's fault, single mom's fault, and that's why this happened at the Redz opening day failure parade. That's what I'm start calling it, okay? Because I need to learn lessons. Failures is lessons, all right? But this is what I want to tell y'all. I really want y'all to think about this for 1 second, okay? Because I don't think y'all do think about this right here. If the single moms are raising them, and y'all say this is why they acting a fool and this and that, where are the fathers? I'm just think about that for a second. Where is yeah? Because to me, it's a parenting issue, not just a mothering issue or just a fathering issue, right? We as parents need to come together and do something and figure something out for our youth, right? That way, that's why I deal with it when they young adults to older, because I notice, a lot of people are doing things for the youth, but they getting older. But I want us to think about this for a second. For fathers that was saying this for a second. It's not that for you to sit there and bash a single mother that's at least trying, that's at least still has her pet child, right? That's at least still, taking care of them. She's still going to work. You can say she tricking, you can say whatever you want to say. You can say, I don't care what y'all saying, but for y'all to sit up there and bash a queen that's at least still taking care of the baby, it amazes me, because we have men out here that's taking care of another woman's child. And a lot of y'all men, I'm about to hurt some feelings. I'm about to bring some clarity and slap somebody with truth right now. A lot of individuals, and there's a lot of parents out here that's playing proud stepdaddy, as I like to call it. You taking care of somebody else's kid while your kid on the corner, and your real child, the mother has to do it by herself. Or maybe you ain't playing stepfather. Maybe you just on the corner, or maybe you just said, you know what, I'm tired of her treating me like this, and I'm tired of going through all this. I ain't dealing with it no more. I'm gonna let her deal with it. I'll deal with it when they get grown. I don't want to deal with it no more. Because that's what a lot of y'all doing. A lot of y'all done gave up. A lot of y'all on the street, on the same street, or around the corner, or up the street, or down the street from y'all kids, and ain't even thinking about them. So I got a question for y'all. Where are you? Maybe the problem is that we don't have these men sitting up there and have the, maybe you don't have the enough, courage to take care of your child and step into your child's life. I'm just saying that. Let's say that for a second. Okay? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I didn't like that at all. Because I'm a single mom. Okay? I'm a single mom. But one thing I'm gonna tell you right here is, I'm a single mom, but while I sit up here and you guys say I struggle, and and I have a son locked up and all that, let me tell you, because I ain't perfect. We ain't perfect. But I can't speak for mothers that's in the club all day, every day, because I'm not one in the club all day, every day. And I do my darndest to take good care of my kids. Why, meanwhile, I see the fathers going to the club every week, not doing nothing for the kids, taking care of other people's kids while they not taking care of their own. So I want to just touch on that for a second and speak up for my queens out there. Because when I speak up for my queens, I speak up for my kings too. But today I just had to speak up for that, because I see a lot of men saying that. But to me, it's kind of wow, because if you are, now let me say this for those out there. If you are a king out there, if you are, let me not say king, because are a man out there who has a child out there, and you're not taking care of your child, this Redz brawl, this Redz opening day failure that just happened, let me just tell you this for clarity, just in case this is a wake-up call for you. This is a wake-up call for you to say, you know what, let me get in my child's life. Let me see what I can do. Let me help bring the mother bring structure to the child. Maybe it's too much. Maybe if we do this together collectively, something to change. Maybe if I start going to the school sometimes, maybe if I take them and they know I'm gonna pop up if they get smart, right? I'm just saying, y'all got to understand and stop doing these things and acting like it's just one-sided when it's not. Because it's a lot of men and men's in the club every day, all day, choosing not to take care of their children. Okay? Now, with that being said, I'm also say this, because y'all know I gotta say this. Also, it's a lot of parents, it is a lot of queens out there, y'all, that you need to step the game up. You know, so I ain't gonna just say to me, but I feel like collectively as parents, I don't like saying, mothers or fathers, collectively as parents, it is time for us to step back and look and see what can we do differently. What do we need to do differently? Why are you so angry? Like, what is literally online that they so mad at? Why are they so aggravated? Why are they so frustrated? Why? Maybe it's time for us to think about the why. I'm just saying, guys, do y'all think that it's about time for us to wonder about the why instead of, getting aggravated about, oh, what is going on, this, that, and this and that. But what about the why? Why is it happening? And it's only been happening since social media. And why is the suicide rate double? Why? Because we humans. We got to learn how to manage our online presence. We have to learn how to, have a balance with social media. There's a time for social media, time for offline, right? Let me be in the environment, get off of social media for a second. Let me actually live in the environment, feel the environment. Maybe don't order some stuff. Maybe let me go into the store, walk around, get, a feel of, people around. A lot of us, that's why you wonder why you show up to these businesses and they don't have customer service. Guess what? How can you have customer service if you don't even know how to deal with people? You ain't used to being around people. If the only thing you know is on social media and online, how can you have great customer service? Think about that for a second. If the only thing these youth or individuals nowadays, just people in general, if the only thing we're knowing is social media, how can we have great customer service in person? I'm just asking how. I just want to know how. That's all. That's all. That's it. That's all. So, I really hope I gave y'all some clarity for this right here. Like this episode right here, this is dear from me, from my heart. Because I see a lot, we don't have clarity. We confused. Oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Oh, did that really happen? Why every time because there's no clarity there, because we trying to compete with each other, because we trying to make sure Cincinnati is on top. But Cincinnati, I will shoot. I'm gonna show them Cincinnati be turning up. Just stupid. Our youth rather go to jail to go viral than get education. And when I say education, let me tell y'all something. It's I don't care what form of education it is. I don't care if it's, graduate and then go to YouTube University for all I care. But constantly learn something. Keep yourself around a positive environment, around people, places, and things that aligns with positivity. Nobody seems to care no more about positivity. Nobody seems to even care about whether things are right or whether it's right or wrong no more. And that's scary. Because I'm not a fictionary. If you know Queen A, you know my line. I'm not a fictionary. I focus on the fact over what? Fiction. Okay? Because right here, fact over feelings, fact over fiction. I'm not a fictionary. So I truly hope y'all got something from this. Share this episode with somebody else who you think may get some clarity from this. And I'm just gonna tell y'all in Cincinnati, New York, Arizona, I don't care. The one thing in the US that we have is that we all have in common is that the depression rate and the suicide rates are going up. So what can we do differently? How can we do something differently? How? And I seen that. That's why I created the Clarity Mastermind Starter Kit, which is my online tool for individuals who don't like group coaching, who just want to do online. That's why I do this. I do this for, you know, I do this for everybody. I do this for the youth. I do this for the adults. I was gonna say that, but I do it for everybody. I do it for you. I do this for me. I do this for my youth, my household. If you look behind me, one thing you will notice is I don't have pictures like most people. So I have sayings all over. So if you look behind, let me just back up. You can see. So you see, that's my logo behind me right there. I paid that's my paint, but you see, I have sayings all over. So one of them behind me say, whether you think you can or think you can't, you are correct. The other one say it doesn't. If it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. I had to look up there and read which one because I have so many. I have one right here, one right, but I have them all over. But I put these in here for a reason. I always got them on here for a reason because I hope somebody watching this will read it because they the truth. They the truth. If you don't take nothing else from this, take clarity with you. Start understanding why things are happening instead of being just surprised and responding. Take action to learn why things are happening. All right. And then if you want to be a part of it, then come on, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and help Queen A plant seeds throughout the universe. And if nobody else loves you, you already know Queen A does. Later. Mwah. Oh, did it go on? Oh, I'm still streaming. I thought I ended my stream. My bad.